Well, hey there, howdy, folks. This is Doug again. I'm coming at you today from a gas station after work. It's the bus stop, so I got a little bit of spare time here, and I made this video several times. I'm trying to figure out exactly what I want to say, but I think I got it down now, so I'm sorry if this is not as candid as I usually come off, but it's my third time recording this, so I'm going to beat a dead horse in this video, and if you are not into politics and you don't want to hear me talk about it, then that's fine. A story came out about how Joe Biden had classified documents and Trump had classified documents, and you see it on the headlines and you think, well, it's a wash. A lot of people get that part right. So the Republicans are muddying the water because that's all they have. And so the details of it are, I don't know if, I guess I'll say it again. I'm going to beat this dead horse. Here you go. Trump ordered boxes of documents to his house and then used lawyers to not give them back. And then when they were ordered to give them back, they gave some back, but not all of them back. And you can't do that. And so whereas Biden had left some from when he was vice president, and then his team found them and then gave them back to them. And so there's no reason to raid Biden because he's fully cooperating, right? And so I'm not going to put my tinfoil hat on and think there's some kind of deep state conspiracy theory where Mike Pence was just found with classified documents. And I mean, honestly, these people, what are they just, maybe it's common, but Republicans have to muddy the waters. That's why they always scream about Hunter Biden's laptop. Jared Kushner got $2 billion from Saudi Arabia and for intel. I mean, he definitely gave some, CIA shit to Saudi Arabia, and that's totally fine, right? I see a lot of the problem as just because we have a two-party system, it's going to be one or the other, and so, you are forced to basically choose a side, and it creates a lot of division. And so a two-party system brings you to the point where people have to rah because, oh, Trump, no, Trump, dude, he declassified him himself. So I don't even think why are we even talking about this. He didn't. I mean, Jesus, it's so funny. And then Biden gets him woo. The good thing about people on the left is they're not as tribal, I don't think. I haven't heard anybody being you can't even investigate Biden. I don't even, you know what I mean? So investigate Biden, investigate Trump. And this is not an endorsement of Trump, and it's not an endorsement of Biden. I dislike both of these men. So it's not a crusade against Biden. I'm not trying to villainize him, but anybody that knows me knows that I am not his biggest fan. That's just a fact. What he did to Anita Hill, to get Clarence Thomas put on the Supreme Court, and then the crime bill, and how many lives has Joe Biden ruined? Having sanctions onto Afghanistan while he's the president, and just depriving people of food and medicine, which is horrible. Joe Biden is doing that. So, but Trump is worse. Trump, honestly, one of the worst human beings that ever lived is embodied in Donald Trump. So yeah, is Biden better than Trump? Well, fuck yeah. But, honestly, I wish there was a fucking third party. So that's the point of this. So the tribalism has led to all this crazy back and forth about whether or not you should investigate who and blah, blah, blah. To get away from that, you have to have more competition. And so I don't know if you know this, but the RNC and the DNC make up the rules for who's a major party. So every time the Libertarian or the Green Party gets close, they just move the goalposts and make it harder to become a third party because they're the ones that make the rules. And so it is actually a duopoly. So they're playing each other back and forth, and it's split 50-50. So I agree so much more. Really, Bernie Sanders. So I'm not a super big fan of very many politicians, but Bernie Sanders is one of the absolute best. And you can come at me and say, oh, he has a sports car and he flies on a plane, but he's such a good dude. he's earned that. He gets a salary. He can probably afford to have a sports car if he wants to buy one. I mean, it's freaking awesome. And you have to have societal change, which is what he asked. No individual, you can't just limit Bernie Sanders from not flying on planes. Every presidential candidate has to do that because that's the system that we have right now. So those arguments are so just to muddy the waters again, because they have to have some sort of, and honestly, Republicans are just authoritarian. DeSantis literally scares me. He literally scares me because he's more competent than Trump. And he is capable of setting this country back a great deal, especially with our Supreme Court. The Supreme Court we have right now with a DeSantis presidency and a Republican House, I mean, they would set us culturally back 100 years. I mean, these people would be relentless, ruthless, and just any other adjective that starts with R that is bad. I can't imagine that sort of, and I'm afraid of it. I'm literally afraid of like Christian nationalism. Like, I consider it an absolute threat. And yeah, there's a lot of criticism on the left, but I mean, Norway, Sweden, Denmark, these places are all like very like happy, and they have a good economy, and they don't like torture their prisoners. They take really good care of their prisoners to rehabilitate them. I saw this thing, like these people, like they're not like weighted on hand and foot, but they do have like amenities, and they're not like, it's just night and day the way we treat our prisoners and they do, as an example. But they do a lot of different things, and we have to, in the United States, actually be more conscious of this, because it is invaluable. It is so super important that if we ever lose democracy, it would be, we would almost never guarantee to get it back. So a lot of people don't have faith in the institutions, which I understand. The media is awful. Wealth and income inequality in this country is worse than it's ever been. I mean, 29 people have more wealth than like half of the world. And so, yeah, I mean, it is because of gerrymandering and the Electoral College, 2 senators per state, that allows the minority to stop the progress of the majority. So most people in the country want to have Democrats, progressive ideas are super popular, but Republicans are able to claw into power by legally gerrymandering the shit out of Florida. So the politicians can pick their voters instead of vice versa. And more people vote for Democrats, but Republicans have the House of Representatives, although it is narrow. So maybe their power is waning. And I think people actually want to do stuff besides like cut food stamps and like get rid of Social Security, Medicare, and Medicaid, and have Christian nationalism, like totalitarian fucking dictatorship in goddamn the United States. So I get super passionate about this. And before I make a scene here at the gas station, I think I'm trying to get my point across. I am passionate about this because it is so important, but I know this is not everyone's favorite topic, and feel free to let me know if you want me to deep dive into one of these topics, because I do like to talk about this stuff, and I think about it, and if I can convey the message in a way that even gets people interested, like somebody watches this and they're like, oh, what even is the Electoral College, right? So those are our biggest threats right now. So lifetime Supreme Court nominations, the 2 senators per state, gerrymandering, and the filibuster, they've all like combined to make the minority pretty much more powerful than the majority. So unless you have a filibuster-proof Senate and the House of Representatives and the presidency, there's really not a lot you can get done. And so the country is divided on party lines, left and right. And if everyone who didn't vote in the last election actually voted for a third party, then that person would win. There's more people that don't vote than that vote for Democrat or Republican. So they make politics boring and depressing and sad on purpose to get you to be disinterested. So get out there, be interested. This is important. Everything we do is like right here. So, I mean, or we could be a failed state. And I think that working together, we've actually been able to accomplish a lot. So with that being said, folks, until next time, adieu.